candle company purchased 48 1/8 pounds of wax to make specialty candles. It takes 5/8 pound of wax to make one specialty candle. How many candles can they make? To make one pillar candle, it takes 2.5 times the amount to make one specialty candle. How many pounds is this? So we have the first part of the problem, which asks us how many candles can be made from this amount of wax. So if we take the amount of wax that we have, the total, and we divide it by how much is required for one specialty candle, we'll end up with the number of candles that can be made. That means we have to take 48 1/8 and divide that by 5/8. To do that, we're going to change 48 1/8 into an improper fraction. That requires us to multiply 8 times 48, which is 384, plus 1 to give us 385, divided by 8. We're now going to be dividing that by 5/8. When we work with division of fractions, recall that what we do is to change this into a multiplication problem. We leave the first fraction alone, 385 divided by 8, and then we multiply that times the reciprocal of the second fraction. So that's multiplied times 8/5. We now notice that our 8 is going to be a common factor in the product, so that will be divided out. And that leaves us with having 385 divided by 5. That quotient is a value of 77, which means that we can end up having 77 candles made with this amount of wax. The second part of the problem tells us that to have one pillar candle requires 2.5 times the amount of wax of one specialty candle. That means we're going to have 2.5 times 5/8 pound, which requires us now to take 2.5 and multiply that times 5/8. We're going to change 2.5 into an improper fraction. We'll have 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. So that gives us 5/2 multiplied times 5/8. There are no common factors, so to multiply fractions, we're going to end up multiplying the numerators together, which gives us 25 in our numerator, and multiplying the denominators together, 2 times 8 gives us 16. Now, this is the result if we leave it as an improper fraction. So what that means is it's going to require, for one pillar candle, 25/16 pounds. However, we can change this into a mixed number by using division. If we take 16 and divide it into 25, 16 goes into 25 one time with a remainder of 9. So we can say this is equivalent to 1 9/16 pounds.